I don't get it. It's a phrase every artist knows. Getting driven home from a dance rehearsal where you worked for hours perfecting that one move. Your parents turn, see your sweating face, and ask, why? And you explain why in a stream of consciousness poured out of your heart, all about what dance means to you. And they look at you, shake their heads, and say it. I don't get it. Or perhaps you work for months on a painstakingly detailed painting depicting a representation of your battle with teenage angst. Yet your siblings insist it looks like a duck doing a backflip. They don't get it. An aunt takes a single glance at a sheet of music you just played. It's just squiggles and lines to her. She can't get it. Having an emotional breakdown to your uncle because you can't find the exact black t-shirt that you wanted to wear on the first day of tech week because your wardrobe consists entirely of black t-shirts. He hands you tissues, but he doesn't get it. Your obsession with the musical Hamilton. You don't know how anyone wouldn't get it, but they just don't get it. Dragging your friends to see an experimental theater show. Not only do they not get it, they're now afraid of you. A heartfelt poem about the loss of your left saw. They don't get it, but to be honest, you're not quite sure you get it either. All you know is, it's art. Somehow, it makes you feel something. And here on the island of misfits, known as the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts, that's the tool we have to communicate. Art. The Academy is just a desperate, passionate attempt to make the world get it. Some of us use words or stage shows as our language. Others use colors, lights, and notes. Every ethnicity, social background, personality, sexuality, we all use art to scream out into the world, to get others to see what's burning in our blood. Trying to make them understand a feeling, an impossible task. But hey, we're artists. The impossible is what we live for. Have you ever tried to explain a color? You can't. You can explain how it feels to you or memories you have with it, but nobody can see that color you see. That's the feeling of trying to understand an artist's mind. Seeing what cannot be seen is our daily undertaking. Trying to decode that artist's world can drive a person mad. Parents here tonight can probably attest to that. So how can we all communicate if we use different outlets of expression? It's like speaking a different language to some people. A theater student will understand if you start yelling at a locker in a monologue, while a dancer will call the police. It's not easy. It would take grueling years of practice to be able to decode the strange species that is other artists. None of us can come close to understanding each other. But in the end, that's what really makes us friends. In a traditional high school, you have the usual geeks and freaks, the social outcasts. The Academy is a rare collection of these individuals. Our differences are so different that we don't have a normal group of friends because nobody here is normal. Take me, for example. My first friends at the Greater Hartford Academy of the Arts were a transgender Puerto Rican painter and a gay guy who played the viola. I had never met someone who was gay, transgender, Puerto Rican, or a violist, but we didn't even think of those differences. They were both too busy making fun of the fact that I had no idea how to open a locker. We're insane. As a freshman, one of my most vivid memories was walking into the girls' bathroom on the second week of school to see a group of girls standing in a corner and one asking me, "Hey, we're doing stick and pokes. Want one?" I thought for sure this was a drug, and every ounce of my Catholic schoolgirl education screamed at me to say no to drugs. But instead, I asked for a definition. The answer may or may not have been a tattoo. I'm not at liberty to say. What I can say is that the girl showed me the one that she was doing, and I was both impressed at the beauty of it and totally disturbed that it had happened right here in the girls' bathroom. And that's exactly how I spent the rest of my time at the Academy feeling, impressed and disturbed. I know that some of our parents felt One of those feelings a lot more than the other. I saw instances where people who said that they knew better than we did, expressed that disturbance, telling us that we were too smart to throw it all away and become full-time starving artists, saying the word artist like it was synonymous to trash can. I hated hearing the term starving artist. I know it's true right now because all any of us can ever think about is food, and we're all probably thinking, when will this speech end so I can go get some Chipotle? But that's not the kind of starving that I'm talking about. There's such a negative connotation to starving artists. We will be waiters and cry over our arts degrees. We'll be out on the streets playing guitar for spare change. Even my dad told people when they would ask what I wanted to be, she wants to be a waitress in Brooklyn who shares a 100-square-foot apartment with 19 other girls. But I looked around me and I saw potential success in everyone I met. We will not be starving artists, I told myself. That's right, I don't think we're going to be hobos. But that's changed since freshman year. Not the hobos part. Let me explain. I do think that we will be starving artists. Needing the dance lesson. Craving the feeling of the instrument in your hands. Hungry for the spotlight. We don't stop wishing or wanting or fighting. That's why we'll be starving. Much to the chagrin of the non-believers, we can't stop that passion. It's impossible to satisfy the artist in each of us. So go, the rest of the class. No matter what you go out to do, whether it's art or something else, go out there and starve. Go out there and make art. Go out and change the world. Because on behalf of all of us here on stage, we'd like to thank the Academy for getting it.